Welcome and hello, hello and welcome, welcome and hello, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on an extremely special edition of Un Poco Moss. Guys, some of you might be asking yourselves, hey, why is this, big fat jerk back on his broken record routine about SOFI? Some of you guys who are, were early adopters, if you will, of Un Poco Moss. Remember, I used to make a video about this about SOFI literally every single day. By the way, guys, it is Un Poco Moss, the show where we feebly attempt to give you just a little bit more. No, that is not to be inferred anything downstairs, guys. That's Un Poco Moss. That's a little bit more. It's nothing to do with my wiener. You're projecting. You're projecting. You're projecting that on me because you have a tiny wiener. We're not going to get into the bit about measuring a fat guy's penis, how difficult it is, how you need a block and tackle, 12,000-pound Warren winch. Can't get one of those winches from Harbor Freight like a Grizzly. You need a Warren winch. You need the real deal. And you're going to want to have one of those remote controls for it. You can stand back 30 to 40 feet so you don't get a gunt avalanche while you're trying to get down to the base with your yardstick. These types of things can happen. Injuries happen every single day, guys. I think in the United States alone, 18,000 people were killed last year trying to measure a fat man's penis. Suffocated under the gunt avalanche. It's a taint shame. Hold on, guys. Let me see what's going on here. Sorry, this show devolved so very quickly. Sorry, guys. There's so much going on right now. I swear, it's just been an absolute madhouse around here. We've been working 3 in the morning till 9, 10 at night, and I'm just losing my mind, guys. I'm too fat. I'm too old. I'm too stupid. It's just, burning the candle at 3 ends, and I can't even, find my wiener half the time. So you guys know how that goes. Anyway, so let's talk actually about SOFI instead of just making this whole show about, my very manageable. Geez Louise, we got just texts coming in willy-nilly. Let's talk SOFI, guys. We had some really important developments. Of course, stock, just quick update. Stock is down today a lot, 5%, $1.50. You see it just getting hammered. But this, this 26, 25, 26.50 area is still holding on nicely. And if you look at it, it's still flipped. You see this flip here, resistance here, looking still very strong for support. These days, there's such a huge range during the day. These are all, I believe this is fake price action. What do I mean by fake price action? I don't believe any retail's dumping pre-ER. Data tells you institutions aren't dumping. So what that leaves is mechanics, short-term, traders moving the stock around for, fun and profit for whatever they're doing. Options trades, derivative trades, subsidiary trades, blah, blah, blah. Sorry if this is totally incoherent, guys. Sorry, guys. I got so many people working. I got like job sites going all over the place. I got, restless leg syndrome. I got all kinds of things happening, guys. Oh, sorry about that. I've got, I don't know why anyone would watch this. Just me texting construction workers about what to do. It's like, what's Danny doing? Texting Jose. Like, oh, this is exciting. Watching a fat guy text, revolutionary. Even the Simpsons haven't done this, though they probably had. But cell phones weren't ubiquitous back in the Simpsons days. Anyway, sorry, guys. I apologize for my rampant ADD and stupidity. But let's see. What do we think SOFI is going to do? CRISPR was on the exact same algo today. It basically followed the NASDAQ, but just extremely exaggerated, followed kind of all the indexes. They had that little push up in the beginning and then a huge push down toward the end. But you see what's happening here. Resistance is, it's not just, you see support along the horizontal line, and then you see resistance along this diagonal line that, was support in this channel, and it flipped right here, on the end of September going into October. It basically flipped to resistance, and then this line, hopefully is support. It looks like it is. It's came down below the line, tested, and then retested this line 4 out of the last 5 days, and doesn't seem to want to break down. I don't think there are any sellers, honestly, retail sellers of the stock below 30. Nobody long term. Why would you want to dump right when things are getting good? Right when the EPS ramp is about to start, right when all the hard work is behind us and we're about to start harvest period. You're about to get the fruits of all your labor. People are like, oh my God. And again, why am I talking about this stock every day? I'm talking about it because it's a completely different animal than where we were 2-3 years ago at, $5-6. The stock now is a much more mature company. We have confirmation, I think, what works, what doesn't work. And, again, that's why I think the AWS deal could be critical as a sort of a shortcut to accelerate, customer acquisition penetration at Galileo, because obviously Amazon Web Service is extremely popular, and you can grab customers for different APIs and let them pick and choose without them having to switch their entire, company's backbone over to Galileo, which obviously is a multi-year process, very difficult to do, very time consuming. We've all been frustrated by sort of that lack of, definitive progress. So I think this is very important, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's talk about just the daily a little bit and sort of like what's going on with the price action vis-a-vis the shorting. This is unusual, guys. You notice how always on SOFI and most other stocks, a lot of the volume, like more than half the day's volume, is front loaded into the first 30 minutes, which is usually a bit of a pump. This is interesting because today there was more volume actually in the middle of the day, right here around 1 p.m., than there was at the beginning of the day, like 9:30, 10. And that is almost unheard of. The volume is always front loaded here. Now, what happens today? The volume is front loaded at the very end, or back loaded, excuse me, at the very end of the day. You see all this volume in here. So it's just more and more confirmation that this is completely set up and that market makers are buying the stock. You want more confirmation? You want to know when you don't necessarily want to short a stock? Well, there's a lot of times you don't want to short a stock right before a blowout ER, when institutions are buying a stock and not selling a stock, when hedge funds are coming into a stock and not going out of a stock. So that's what I'm saying. This is not something where they're like, oh, we're afraid of the ER, we're dumping, we're getting out of our investment. Nobody's doing that. Investment is coming in. So how do they push the price down? It's price fixing. I mean, you can see it. It's so obvious in how the stock is behaving. These waterfalls, these candles where the stop drops an inordinate amount, they just overwhelm the other, they just overwhelm the entire order book. It's not that hard. If the stock is trading at $27 and you want it down at $26.25, you can put a bunch of shares on the bid and the ask and sell them to your twin brother at $26.25. And if you do it at a particular time where there's not that many orders on the book, you're going to push it to the price you want. You're just going to, basically consume like Pac-Man, all those orders in your way, and you're going to get to that blinking ghost, one way or the other. Guys, is this making any sense? I think that subconsciously that pink blinking ghost on hands off me booty gave me the idea for that Pac-Man bit. But thank you very much. What's going on? What's going on, Stock Newbie? Good to see you again. What's going on, Devin Ishida? Yeah, it was really, really a weird day. I mean, I watch SoFi every single day since it's gone public. I study this chart. I know kind of how this thing behaves, and this is very unusual. This was very unusual, sort of price action and the way the volume was loaded. But oddly enough, on a down day, and this is again very unusual, it traded about 72 million, 71, 72 million shares, which is as bullish as the volume gets. That is usually on solid green days, that volume. Red days are usually they churn a whole hell of a lot of shares and force it down, or they trade, like 30 million shares. But this is weird. Like, this is like Twilight Zone SoFi price action. Very, very odd. Um, I bought a bunch more today. I'm, getting out of just some of the other like Magnificent Seven stocks I had. I just have a lot of gains in those stocks. I trimmed Bank of America yesterday after earnings, bought more SOFI, been selling, sold some Tesla the other day. I don't know, about a week ago, it was like 440, bought more SOFI. Basically, whatever I'm selling, whatever money I have, whatever anybody will buy of mine, whatever knickknacks they'll buy at my, rummage sales, I'm just buying more SOFI. Take my SOFI credit card points, buy more SOFI. It's a shame I had to pay taxes. Oh, that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. California, dude. Ooh. I mean, again, I'm not going to go into this speech. I love California, but the tax rate is just, the state tax is like, I mean, and I pay a lot of federal tax, and my state tax was like 30% of my federal tax. This is just nuts because they don't let you cheat. And I don't cheat. I do everything by the book, but like I said, I'm way too, pretty to go to jail. So I definitely pay all my taxes. But the federal government, you have a little more wiggle room in terms of the tax code. Like the state of California, they would just grab you by the balls, hold on tight. They don't stop until you send the old franchise tax board. Ah, you're good buddies. We're here at the franchise tax board. I think I know those fuckers' PO box by heart. Lend them all my money. It's like, oh, the 14th. Hey, I'm not doing too bad. Got a few bucks in the bank. Not everybody on the 15th. I'm broke. Thank you, America. Glad I work so hard and pay all these taxes. There's so many people. You live down by the beach. You see people in these like apartments on the beach, and they just don't work. You don't know how. Like all day, they're just chilling in like a little lawn chair on their lawn on the beach, just smoking. Like just never work. Like you're like in your 50s tops. Oh yeah, I'm on permanent disability. How do you surf every day? Just so many people are just gaming the system while I just send the government these massive checks. Definitely a little bit irksome. Definitely sticks in the craw a bit. But I guess the other side of that coin is I'm, really fortunate to be of sound mind and body. Be just a tiny bit smarter than the average bear, where I'm able to work the system real hard. Just make a ton of money. Just basically tricking computers to do my bidding. I don't know, guys. How far are they going to push down? They're like, oh, it's going to go back to 20. And here's another, like I said, institutional owner. This is when you don't short a stock. Okay. Let's talk about when you don't short a stock. You don't short a stock when institutional ownership is at an all-time high and increasing. And think about a stock that in just basically this time, this last 18 months, or the price 4x from like 7 to 28. You'd think all the institutions would be bailing out, taking their profits. Like the valuation is insane. What about book value? What about book value? What about deterioration of credit quality? Oh! Giuliano just had a premature credit quality. Oh! Like, come on, dude. Look at the chorus of turds, when is it normal to like re-rate a stock? Most analysts re-rate a stock after the ER, maybe after some big material event or some big media thing, whatever happens. So, this is I think this is the ER back here, say, I guess you'd think it was here. So this one everybody's re-rating. So, Bank of America comes in and they're like $15, whatever it is. And, so these are all kind of the next month, the next few weeks, usually when you're rating. And then these buy ratings come in, you have some, material. Then nothing happens. And it's the same chorus of turds that is always, always, always hitting this stock into a pre-orchestrated, short attack sell-off. You get Morgan Fudley, Midwest Values. This guy just came out of nowhere. He has no track record. I feel like they just, wake him up for the important meetings. But you get all these fake, price target raises. Anytime you're raising your target price like to way below the current stock price, it's not a positive thing. You're trying to bash the stock. So all these guys come out like, this is like right after the end of the quarter, but before the ER. So nothing has happened here to cause these clowns to keep re-rating the stock. So what do you see? All these raises. The last one, you see two calls and then they have to get involved. So you have, Citibank, that's a huge raise from, and even JP Morgan raising. Citibank, huge raise, 18 to 28 in a buy. Jeffries, buy. Needham, buy to 29. Of course, touchdown Dan Dolev, the baby seal. Guys, because he's so smooth. The Mighty Miz, touchdown Danny Dolev, 26 to 31 in a buy. And then you get the chorus of just fud spitting foreheads. Morgan Fudley, big raise from 13 to 18, 32% downside. Then the five head comes in just strong he doubles his price target from 6 to 12, 55% downside. And then, Goldman Sachs with their revolutionary consumer banking product, Marcus, which is taking the world by storm, and together with Apple putting SoFi out of business. LOL. That's probably why they hate SoFi, because they suck. No, they make a ton of money, in their investment banking and everything else. But, consumer banking, nobody wants to use Marcus. Just dumb. It's like a mortgage company named Mr. Cooper. Remember that show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper? It's really not a bad show. The guy was pretty funny. Seems like he had some demons or something, though, that like comedian guy. I don't know. Just doesn't seem like happy. Might have been there for the paycheck, not the love. Oh, who the hell is this? Oh my god, more election stuff. Thank you. Not a lurkers here? Hello. It's not even filtered, it's sparkling. Take that. So I just, whenever I see these just fake dumps, all these guys get involved. My Chemical Romance's touchdown Timmy Switzer, 14 to 18, 32% downside. You got the great Will Nance, man known as his in his younger years as a model for lens crafters. He's raising from 21 to 24. What a bold gambit. What a bold move by Will Nance. This freaking forehead. You got Vincent Santic with BTIG, just no price target, no nothing, just coming in with a hold. It's a real bold call from that smiling point of light. Oh, God, I hate everybody. You guys want to see what IBD thinks? I don't. But they're if you know IBD composite rating, 99% is very, very, very few stocks get that. Very few stocks. So SoFi has an IBD composite rating of 99. No, definitely don't summon like. Not a lurker, you're barking up the wrong tree, my friend. What happens? These turds 7 like, and they're watching all these shows, they're not doing their work. They get behind, the kids don't do the homework. I gotta watch un poco más. I have a report tomorrow, Daddy. But what if Danny gives me another penny stock tip? I could lose a lot of money. Yeah, 100% chance. I have to make a diorama for school. Better fire up the table saw, get a case of beer, first aid kit, tourniquet. Whenever I have a school project, Daddy loses a finger and gets drunk. Yep. Call the ER. Tell them turn on the table saw. Drinking original Coors. Anyway, original Coors. God, those are some bad memories. May as well just drink a can of urine. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, no, I love to lose money too. Prop update, it's not good. I mean, Michael, don't worry about the price action offer. We need another ER to see what the production is, see what the numbers are. That's the bottom line. Until I see real production numbers and real revenue numbers, I really don't know. I mean, I'm not over there in the Denver Permian Basin or whatever, just, boots on the ground, just checking well by well, dropping my lee line, whatever it's called. How many fathoms are we? Like I don't even know how to measure that. So no, we gotta wait. We gotta wait for these clowns to actually get their act together. You have to understand with a company like Prop, they went from just like a smaller company, $100 million. They increased the size of their company, the size of their land, the size of their operation, like 5x. And they thought they were going to bring it all online and integrate it in like a couple quarters. Totally, totally unrealistic. Does that mean they won't get their act together? Does that mean dilution is going to be so severe that it doesn't matter? I don't think so. People smarter than me, for me, have done the math, and they tell me to keep buying the stock. So I hold my nose and I nibble. I'm not saying I'm buying a ton, but I am buying. I'm buying 10x. I'm thinking about buying more VTAC. Definitely not buying JAG. UBX went bankrupt on me, just like good old GMD. I've been doing so much research into that GMDA bankruptcy. What a freaking scam. It's a law firm here, law firm in Israel, just basically shook down the shareholders for the entire company. I've never seen anything quite like that. But I guess in Israel, it's just a lot of shenanigans in Israel, the courts. And then our bankruptcy court just takes it as gospel. It's like there's some kind of reciprocity thing where it's like, oh, Israel court said this, and all the shareholders are wiped out completely, and the debt holder gets the entire company for free. Yeah, of course you can't make a deal there. Like, the CEO, in my opinion, was just lying to people the entire time. Abby, about the fact that they had viable deals on the table, and they never had a viable deal on the table. I mean, if people are just in public, like, misleading everybody with very material facts, it's pretty hard to make an accurate investment thesis. But again, that's when I said at the very end, like before the bottom fell out, I told people, I was like, I made a video, I said there's like 2/3 chance this goes completely to zero, goes completely south. So people on stock twits and stuff got so mad at me. They're like, how could you say that? You've been a bullish the stock the whole. I said I have, but my research indicates the sales are very, very slow. And that means there's no revenue for them to continue. And that means the debt holder basically has a stranglehold on their testicles. And that means we're all fucked. That's what I told my audience. And they got mad at me because I'm telling them the truth. They're like, how could you say that? Well, because I'm getting new information. So I'm doing critical thinking. And I'm constantly reevaluating my assumptions, my positions. I'm constantly entertaining the fact that I'm wrong, that I'm misguided, that I'm stupid, that I'm fat, that I'm old, that I don't know anything. You go in with this blind confidence. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a mentality like with SOFI, like when a stock's dropping, you see it, you're like, oh, it can't go past 28. It's been fighting for 28. So if it goes down to, 27.50, I'm just going to buy the hell up because it can't go any lower because I don't think it should. And my mommy said, I'm a good boy. Well, market makers don't care about your mammy. Mommy. Sorry, I think mammy. Is that a racist term? I hope not. It might have been like some term like slave housekeeper. I don't know. I can't remember. One thing I assure you guys, I will never in my life say anything intentionally racist. Never. But if I have a slip of the tongue, please forgive me. I know everybody says that. I have a black friend. I'm the least racist person in the world. With me, I think it might be true. Because I just love everybody. I really do. I'm a people person. Like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you this? Yeah, no. Nope. I think life is short, man. And it's really hard, especially if you're different. Life is hard, man. I don't like hating on others. Like, loving, embracing, helping, lifting up. That's my MO. Even if it's to my own detriment sometimes, but I don't know. I just refuse to hate other people and be a dick. I don't even buy into this whole societal division. Like, I just see guys walking around in MAGA hats and other people in like most of my area is pretty liberal. Everybody's still friends, man. Everybody's still neighbors. I don't buy any of this. I don't buy any of it. Oh, we hate California. Let's go to war. Let's put the military. And half the people who come out here from, Midwest, South, they love it out here. They love it out here. It's just too expensive to buy a house or they'd stay. The US isn't a war zone. Yeah, we have a big debt problem. Yeah, we have a crime problem. Yeah, we have a homelessness problem. You know, got a lot of problems, but man, I love this country. I love this state. I love my people, like all my people, everybody. I don't believe in hate. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the narrative that's being written about America right now. It's just I don't see it. I go all over this country, man. I love this place. I hope we don't fuck it up. So many people sacrifice so much so that we could live in this amazing place, free, together with all of our differences, respect each other. You know, I just don't buy this shit. It's like the SOFI price action. I don't believe it's real. I believe people are fomenting all this stuff, but whether they're left or right, agitators, they're profiting off it. Follow the money. People profit off of this division, off of this misery, off of this hatred. Dude, reject it. Just you have that power. You are the writer and director and the star of the fucking script of the movie of your life. And my stock picks are terrible, my jokes are terrible. But please, I'm begging you, don't hate your neighbor for no reason. Whatever that reason is, their politics, their race, their sexuality, life is fucking hard for everybody, guys. I had to scrape the walls of my colon to pay my taxes yesterday. And I'm doing pretty fucking well. I imagine how hard it is for people who don't have anything. People who are new here, people who are afraid. And I'm for a secure border. I'm not like one of these like, open border, but I'm also not for like cruelty. I don't like what I see like right now, guys. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't have the solutions, of course. But like kindness, empathy, decency, understanding. I can't imagine those are dirty words and like, oh, you're weak. And I don't know, like tearing down institutions that have been built up over a long period of time. It's not owning the libs. Like it's owning everybody. It's owning your ancestors. It's owning the people who built this stuff. It's a lot of problems, a lot of and I like one of the things is like nobody offers effective solutions to anything on the left or the right. Like you say, oh, okay, there's like a lot of waste and this program. Let's nuke it. Let's fire everybody. Let's go home. And then you realize that like that doesn't work. You have to govern. You have to balance things out. Politics, they said, used to be the art of compromise. Now it's just the art of hating everybody. The art of, hyperbolic rhetoric that doesn't solve anything and doesn't make any sense. The art of constantly setting up straw men and boogeymen so you can, get enough hate and emotion riled up in your base to sell them a bunch of bullshit and make money. Because what's important, right? Money. That's why we're all here. If you got to be a fucking fire starter and just spread a bunch of evil vitriol, so be it. Oh, fuck. I'm exhausted. I'm just exhausted with myself. I can't even stand myself. Wish I was somebody else. I wish I was not a lurker. I wish I was bald and fit. Thank you, not a lurker. Appreciate you, brother. If you want the voice of reason, look no further than J Money. Greatest wrench in the business. What the hell's my mouse? You guys see him. You know him. You love him. You guys want to buy one of these Noto Lurker FinTech wrench hats? Sorry. Bald people only. Not selling it to any fat people. No, I won't discriminate. If you are a big, fat, chunky stock monkey like myself, we may sell you one. We definitely get you on board with the Tebedaki method. Yeah, Devin, that was a real bloodletting for me. My God, I was like, and then the worst part is the worst part is when they trust me to take care of something myself. Like, when I used to have a salary job working in the aerospace business, I used to have, all the money taken out of my paycheck. I could just spend everything they gave me. I gave that to my accountant. At the end of the year, I got a refund. Let's go to Vegas. Now I have my own businesses. Like, they decide because of the California wildfires that we don't owe any estimated taxes or any tax payments in the whole state, I believe, or maybe it was just Southern California. So instead of all of our taxes being due in April, all of the payments were due in October. So you got a whole extra half a year to pay anything with no penalty. So, of course, what does my fat ass do? I don't pay anything. But do I save the money and put it in a nice interest-bearing CD? Of course not. I put it in penny stocks and lollipops and dream catchers and, fidget spinners, Chinese finger traps, tiger's tooth boner pills, all the essentials. There's that scene in Dumb and Dumber. It's like, okay, it's our last $20. Only get the essentials. Floyd comes back to get the giant novelty cowboy hat. I think he has a big thing of Coors Light, his copy of Long Island Smut, and I think a pinwheel. And that's when he gets rolled by the old lady on the Lark scooter. The elderly, though useless and dangerous behind the wheel, are good for something. Don't you go dying on me. Sorry, Kay. I apologize, Kay. Yeah, it's always way too much information. But that's kind of the Unpoco Moss, guys. It's just my insanity on full display. But so this is really a huge vote of confidence. SOFI is ranked first in the group in finance consumer loans. I don't think they're really finance consumer lender, but that's fine. Composite rating 99, EPS 80, relative strength 95, B minus, SMR. You guys can read what all these mean on your own time. But yeah, man, Broadcom, what a run, man. I was like, man, I wish I had a bigger Broadcom position. I'm up like I think 300% on that stock. Oh, I hate it when my runners are tiny. Like, hey, man, that stock really ran. You got shares? Yeah, I got a few. Like, you should be happy and say, hey, I made money. But all you can think of is, why didn't I buy more? No, because I'm a psycho. Like, you never just be happy with what you have. It's like, why? Full of regret, anxiety, psychosis. Yeah, hands off my booty. Don't worry, man. I won't give you a Christmas goose, man or woman. I don't know who the hell you are. Let's see SOFI breakdown so I can get some 22. Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to get in on some leaps and stuff. No doubt, man. Don't be afraid of price action. Just try to take advantage. Would you laugh at me if I said I think they're going to make like 11 or 12 cents, Piner? And if they do 12 cents, which I don't think they will, let me rephrase that. If they do 11 cents, we will do the SOFI Rock Opera. No ifs, ands, or buts, no backing out. And that thing is a total piece of crap. Sergey and the boys will probably ban me after that. I don't have the voice like Catfish or his unique style of day trading. I got watching Catfish's stream on the vertical orientation for like hours yesterday. I was just doing my taxes and stuff. I had it playing and I was like, man, this is some good type of crazy. I love YouTube. So anybody can get on the air, Catfish is just hilarious. It's interesting too. Like I don't day trade anymore because I suck at it. Fat, slow, and stupid is not a good combination for day trading. But anyway, so ostensibly this video is about this. Why is this so important? Because a lot of us have carried on and on about the slow growth at Galileo and how they haven't onboarded enough big customers. And Chris Lapointe talked about sort of the glacial speed that, request for quote and then request for proposal from, and then you have the trial period. And then, so it could take a couple of years to really, sign a customer on a dotted line to a final contract. Then another probably, I'm just guessing 18 months to 3 years to fully implement. So it's a massive commitment to fully switch everything over to a provider like Galileo. That's your cloud, that's your infrastructure, that's your host, that's your operating system, that's your everything. Okay, but Amazon Web, you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. Everybody's already on AWS. So instead of being the AWS of fintech, be the AWS of fintech on AWS. It makes so much sense. So what does this do basically? So now their APIs are available native to all the companies that are already hosting their enterprise on AWS. So you can go in and pick and choose, say, credit card processing, credit card issuing, fraud prevention, and you can pick these little, API. It's like a little, think of it as a little square. I don't know, for us non-intellectual dumpski types. It's just like an app, basically, but for the backbone of your business. Just think of it like that. It's software. And why is this so important? Because this allows them to reach just infinitely more customers so quickly. They can implement this literally immediately. I mean, some of the things might have to be customized, but we're talking months instead of years, or even weeks, or even days. Or if it's an off-the-shelf product, I just think it can be done readily. I don't know if it's like immediate. I'm assuming there's some type of setup. You always got to call tech support. You open it like, please do not return this product to the store. Please call us immediately. We're available between 5 p.m. and 5:15 p.m. New Guinea time for your convenience. You ever tried to get anything actually, something stops working, you try to call and they're like, oh, it's not working. Like, oh yeah, we'll send you something. Don't you need my address or my information? No, just wait by the mail. Should be there in about 12 weeks. Never hear from them again. Oh, excellent. They sounded very nice on the phone. Fuck me. So, Sandy Weil, touchdown Sandy Weil, chief revenue officer at Galileo. And I can't help but think, Derek White's gone. AWS, was he resistant to this change? Was there some type of turmoil? Was he fomenting a revolution against Anthony Noto and team? Was he thinking he was going to, lead a silent revolution from Utah? Did he get a little bit too big for his britches because he had a similar hairstyle to Noto Lurker? Like I said, I've never seen Derek and Jay Money in the same place. Like, it could be a Superman situation. Derek White takes off his glasses. It's like Noto Lurker's twin brother. Likes to bike. It's the feeling of a thin saddle on his coccyx or taint. Hey, can I support my entire weight on a little half-inch of carbon fiber by my taint? Yeah, I just like to, like to put my entire body weight on my prostate. I have to pee every 6 minutes, but it's worth it. Like the way my junk looks in these U.S. Postal Service spandex. I gotta say, guys, and not for nothing. I mean, I know this show's about stocks and stuff, but one of the things I do not like about living in California are the fat road bike guys that are going in full spandex gear. Like, if you're, say, 250 pounds or above, you do not need to shave your legs in order to maximize the performance of your road biking. You are obese. You are technically obese. You don't need to pack that ham salad into a freaking, Ziploc bag. Just bring it to the potluck loose. You know what I mean? Loosey goosey. Put that casserole in a tray and get it on the table. God damn. It's enough, dude. I'm sitting at a stoplight trying to check my stock quotes, text not a lurker, look up, and some guy's trying to balance on his bike back and forth, just looks like a freaking egg. Looks like that principal guy, the revolting blob from like Billy Madison. And and somehow these guys are incredibly fit and they bike like 50 miles despite being just obese and hairy. Maybe it is the spandex that lets them do it. Maybe I'm totally off base. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. Maybe I'm all wet. You know what I mean? But I'm saying you just like put one of those padded things on. Like you got to pad that taint area. Because if you're a fat guy and you're just crushing your junk between your fat thighs, like me, you got short fat thighs. You got the old twig and berries, just accidental tuck job. And I'm sitting here in a, nothing between me and your boys, thin layer of nylon. It's a tough situation. Why did I bring my glasses today? Safer on the road, but the fat guy road bike crew got me. Sometimes you get a big group of them, 6 or 7 of these old boomers. And they're all so angry and violent. It's like surfers, Surfers, like most of them are cool and they all claim to be like Zen and like one with them, but a lot of them are just violent, psychopaths. Same with fishermen. Like a lot of people who claim to be doing activities to be like Zen and chill are really just looking for any opportunity to punch somebody in the face, truth be told. Hey man, I just love the wave, shaka. Oh, why'd you punch me in the face? Disrespect, bro. I'm sorry. My bad. Let me just go get a bag of ice. I'll be back. I wasn't even trying to surf. I just took a wrong turn in this parking lot. How many times have you guys been punched in the face in your life? I can't even count. But I was a bouncer for a long time, so I took a lot of weak sucker punches. Hey, did your sister just kiss me or just punch me in the face? I love mocking people too after they punch you in the face. Are you kidding, bro? Like, come on. At least hit me. You're gonna hit me. And you sucker punch. You make it count. What do you think was gonna happen? I was gonna like fall over unconscious and you were gonna celebrate and some like great looking girl was gonna come along and you were gonna get her and no. That's not gonna happen. First thing that's gonna happen is I'm gonna get this meat hook, this just giant meat hook, and I'm gonna grab you with a force that's gonna make you realize you made a huge mistake. It feels like the jaws of life clamp down on your shoulder. I used to spend like psychotic hours in the gym, like 4 or 5 hours. Just, hey, you think you could do like a 30th set of deadlift, you psychopath? Got nothing else to do. Since I quit drinking, this replaced that addiction. Yeah, that was actually before. Anyway, the point is I've been punched in the face many, many, many times. Probably 90% of the time, just found it funny. The other 10% of the time, it was really hurt or injured me. Those weren't so fun. Because what sucks is when that guy sucker punches you, like actually knows how to punch. Ow! Ah, God, that was a good one. Congratulations. You're going to have to go now, sir. As he's punching you like 7 or 8 more times, just trying to calmly reason with him. Sir, the exit's that way if you just pay for your drinks. Oh, just stop hitting me too, if you don't mind. if that's convenient for you and your lovely partner. And no offense to you women out there, but it's always the women causing the fight in the bar, and then the guy gets in the fight and gets arrested or get the hell beat out of him. I don't know why he was looking at me. I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, you have no idea. Just orchestrating this entire thing. I saw that so many times. So the girl would start the whole problem, and then the guy, he's a drunk idiot, would escalate the problem, and then the girl would be screaming like the guy would stop it, stop it. She like caused the whole thing. It's funny, like when you're watching like the night evolve over like 6 hours in a club, and you see like plays out like a soap opera. You can see who's going to be a problem. You can see who's going to be hooking up. You can see like who's going to be going home disappointed. You can see who's going to get violent. You can see it all early. You can almost see it all when you're checking their IDs. Like you can see the attitude. You can see the personality. You just know. You're like, you know, by the energy, this guy's going to be a huge problem. But what else, dude? You know, let's see. It's like Milos and utilities are about to get disconnected. Anyway, fun. Probably should pay some bills. Paul Gardner, that's my thing. It's gotta be 30. It's gotta be 30. Man, Goldman really piled on PayPal the other day. Just kill. I don't own PayPal right now. I ran that up really nicely. I think Tanner and Steve were advocating PayPal. I bought, I think, whatever it was, I can't remember, but I ran up like 20%. I got out, but it was a great little move. But it's kind of what I thought was going to happen. It's doing fairly well, but the share price is just stagnating. The market wants more. The market wants exciting. The market doesn't want, solid profits. The people expect, crazy profits, crazy gains. But, used to be, like I said, if you had a 10% gain in a year, that was an incredibly good year. Now people are looking at 100% gains. They're disappointed. But, this is the world we live in. It's crazy. But you make a lot of money if you understand it and, you play it right. But yeah, I mean, Paul, they love to hit SOFI after earnings. They absolutely love to hit SOFI after earnings. Now, big picture, I don't think any of this makes any difference because we're still completely above all the legitimate price action, even going to the all-time high. The real price action sort of ended here at 25. Now, it had a couple of, spikes right there, but what happens when you consolidate above all-time highs, above any other area you've consolidated above? You don't, especially look at this volume, guys. Look at the volume over the last 5 years. This huge run from right here, $8.70. This is just like, April or late March, early April. The stock is down below 9. So we're talking even at this level, almost a 3x, even after the fall. It's an incredible move. And people are like, well, it's nothing. It's not hood. It's not just expectations, guys. You're like less than 6 months, you 3x your money. You're disappointed. I mean, probably because you chased in a high at 29 because you're a dumpski. But, what are you going to do? It's buying itself out. I'm not sure what that means, Jared. Sorry. I can't tell. I can't follow all these comments. Yeah, Emilio, that's why I try to be a long-term stable investor. I never have if you're buying at 6 or you're buying, if I'm buying it with the expectation that this stock is going to go to 100 over time, does it really matter if I'm buying at 26, 28? I mean, yeah, because you get more shares, you try to pick your entry points. Every dollar matters. I don't want to, say you should be undisciplined, but at the same time, if you're long term, the best time to buy a great company is now when you have the money. Just buy shares and hold those shares and sell covered calls. That's all you have to do to get rich. Just hold great companies, sell covered calls. It's really that simple. Stop trading like a hamster on crack. Stop thinking you can outsmart the market. Stop thinking you can time the market. You can't. If you were smarter than Wall Street or the market, trust me, you wouldn't be working your job. Neither would I. But why, like, you're talking about every one of the big draws, one of the big knocks on the company is the tech is not growing. Okay, so they're not getting that multiple, the hood multiple, the Stripe multiple, like a full fintech, high tech software multiples. Like, why does software get such high multiples? Because it's got such high margins. But SoFi, this is what I think just gets so swept under the rug is the growth story. I mean, in 2021, when SoFi, I believe, went public, if I have the year right, they did 997 million in revenue. Just 5 short years later, they're going to do this year probably over 3 billion. More than 3x your revenue in 5 years. Just think about that. And you think, oh, they must be fueling it with just incredible levels of debt and irresponsible growth and pumping and taking on subprime. None of that. None of that. That's what is astonishing to me about this company, is how they do everything at the highest level of quality and discipline, yet are able to maintain these hyper growth levels. And the growth this year on the top line is re-accelerating. And we are about to enter a period of EPS hyper growth. This stock is just, it's absolutely my Rushmore. I'm going to die on this mountain. Shorts, you want my shares? Like Chaz Heston, from my cold, dead hand. You useless, tiny wang sons of bitches. The stock's going to 41. SoFi, for any company growing like this, which in and of itself is incredible, the consistency of that growth, the durability of that growth in up and down markets and high and low rates, for richer or for poorer, in great hair or bald, in a windbreaker or a suit, with or without a fat, illegitimate son approximately my own age. Keeps writing me, asking for preferred shares. He doesn't even know what those are because he's fat. I think if I was fit, my Papa Noto would accept me. I think he might. But guys, just hear me now, believe me later. Everybody wants growth, okay? Everybody wants hyper growth. Everybody wants that with margins because it gives you tremendous upside in the potential of that stock. And we all want to, be better off. We all want to shortcut. We all want to get there faster. We all want to do better. We all want more. We're all greedy, heathen, no good bastards down in the trenches trying to stab our neighbor in the back with a shank to get more material things. Is that the last Cabbage Patch doll? I have no problem just shanking my neighbor. Oh, Phyllis, is that like a prison fight out there, even at Christmas, or even around the holidays, even around the high holiday. This is probably my worst show ever, guys. I'm sorry. No idea what I'm talking about. So anyway, what I'm talking about is essentially for any company growing this fast, I think SoFi is almost a sure thing to be there in a long time and be a huge company. All these other companies, I don't care who they are, I think they could be out of business. I think they could fail. I think somebody could scoop them. I think somebody could dupe them. I think somebody could poop on them. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean that figuratively. Rain on their parade, if you will. That's what I mean by poop on. Not like some type of 2 girls, 1 cup scenario, which I've thankfully never watched. I don't feel like this is the grossest thing ever. You should watch. I'm like, nah, I don't need that imagery. But anyway, if you look at the consistency of the growth, the business model, the sure thing, the industry, the surface water, all of the evidence suggests SoFi is going to grow and take market share and add new products and continue to add members and continue to accelerate fee-based income and continue to hyper growth their financial services side and push toward their goal of 20% margins, which I think it's going to be much better than that actually at the end of the day. But everything they're setting up is like a fortress of safety and security and conservative and hedging. They're trying to make this as sure a thing as possible. So Wall Street buys in and everybody buys in. That way Papa can get his bonus and he can finally afford to acknowledge me and feed me. Take me out to a nice buffet. I don't think CEO types eat at a lot of buffets. We'll just have some watercress. Call it a day. I'm going to have the chicken strips and the quesadilla. Oh, I'm throwing a nice carnitas burrito to round things out. You guys ever have something to like as like an appetizer or a dessert that's not an appetizer or a dessert? Like your dessert course is occupied by a carnitas burrito. That's not technically dessert, sir. That's savory. Well, savory these nuts and bring me a carnitas burrito, my friend. Because those fish tacos, while delicious, left me a bit peckish. Oh, can anybody tell me what this show was supposed to be about? Or why it's on? Or what the hell I'm talking about? You guys want to check out the live short interest? Since I'm providing absolutely no useful information. I think J Money's had enough. He's out of here. Definitely. He's in and out. Spending some quality time with the missus, perhaps. Let's see. So yeah, shorting another 800,000 shares, borrowing another 4 million. So I don't mind the shorting. I don't mind the price action. What I don't like is setting up for a big, a big game of bend Danny over a barrel, because what we're seeing, obviously, shares on loan were 40 million on August 5th. So this is kind of reversing in a bad way. August 5th, see, they were naked short a ton. They had 120 million shares on loan, 40 million, or 120 million shares sold short and only 40 million on loan. Now it's kind of going to the opposite a little bit. 111 on loan, and see, they have slightly more shares on loan to short interest, which for me, that's a bearish indicator. But I don't buy it because I just believe they're essentially trying to convince themselves that this stock, or trying to convince you actually, because they know better, that this stock is dramatically overvalued here. It's like, oh, it's doing really well. We're going to raise our price target to 12. But what a big man you are. Let me buy you a pack of gum, show you how to chew it. 5 head. Give me a break. Companies were $6. Even on my current, it's just so stupid. The fact that these, and it's always the same guys, and it's always the same companies, and they all do it together, and they all obviously do it to affect, retail behavior, price action, just to get themselves to the top of tip ranks. That's your life's goal if you're one of these losers. No offense. Don't want to offend losers. If you've got a giant forehead or some, Warbly Parker modeling experience, or you're just bringing a giant forehead to the table, these two gentlemen, or you look like a baby seal like Dan Dolev. And keep in mind, guys, I'm just messing around. Not like I think I'm some kind of Adonis. I got a face for radio and an intellect for YouTube. Basically being a big dummy. Oh, I don't know. I guess that's about it. I didn't really say anything going on. Which fintech to choose and for that was yesterday. Upchart. I think she liked SoFi pretty much. Anything else going on? You notice like tip ranks too. Whenever they do these attacks, like all their news is totally negative. It's like they just keep reiterating these calls. SoFi stock smart score is 9. It's pretty good. So EPS, revenues, everything going in the right direction. SoFi stock still a sell, says analyst, even as he lists his price target. Yeah, that's what I mean. These are fake, these are fake bullish calls. These are bashing the stock. These are bearish calls. These guys are paid. Their existence is here to bash the stock. KBW, Goldman Sachs, bologna sandwich. It's all the same people every single time. Remember, KBW made that huge call that ignited that New Year's Day massacre. Who comes out and makes a call for no reason on New Year's? It's a huge downgrade. It's just so stupid. But it's a stupid, sad, fat world. Anyway, guys, Tune Poco Moss. I hate you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for not a lurker. Peace.